you guys doing? TF2Dove here, and today I'm bringing to you, well, this is a little bit different than my regular content. So a lot of people are going to be looking at all the different new cosmetics, taunts, usualizers, whatever the heck they are. But instead, I'm going to take a look at kind of the update as a whole, what it's given us, but namely the maps. So off the bat, there's a few notable things. First thing is that unusual chance in a crate is doubled twice during the duration of this event. The event is going until November 9th. There's a few new taunts, a tiered case, and they've re-enabled all previous events and added new maps. So I'm a pretty big fan of taking a look at the maps that they added. There are 3 of them. There is Payload Brimstone, Player Destruction Pit of Death, and King of the Hill Maple Ridge Event. All of them have very peculiar names, and that is largely in part due to the fact that all of these maps were supplied by the community. So I decided to rank these maps on a scale of 1 to 3, because there's only 3 of them, and coming in 3rd place to me was Payload Brimstone. And of all the maps, it is by far the most detailed, and it looks beautiful. But the last point is very confined and very choky, which makes it very hard to push in a pub. And with all these spells and splash damage, it's just very hard to push that last point. And to get to that last point, there's very linear paths, so it's even, on top of that, it's even more difficult. And despite all of that going for it, the spawn is far too close to the cart and has the dilemma of harvest. And for those of you that don't really know, basically there's 2 ways out of a spawn, and the enemy team can camp at both. And I don't know if it was just me, but I had a fair amount of stutters near last as well, with all these spells, explosions, and sentries going on, so that was also a little bit... Out of the maps, it's the largest, but also it lagged a fair amount, and I don't know if that was just me, but it did lag. Coming in at 2nd place was Player Destruction Pit of Death. Oh, that name. Something about that name just bothers me how irregular it is, but I normally hate Player Destruction maps. I wasn't a fan of the beer one during Invasion. In fact, I'm pretty sure I rated that my lowest because I hate the game mode. And the issue with it is that it is scouts and mini-sentries galore. And despite being a Player Destruction map, the way this one was made actually made me enjoy the game mode. And this was because of Valve, but it's only at number 2 because Valve made it best of 3, so it takes forever to complete it. And despite being called Pit of Death, I've actually never died in the pit. I've only actually died in the ravine. And speaking of that ravine, the map actually really reminds me of Hightower for some reason. I don't quite know why, but when I first played it, I thought it was like half reskinned of Hightower, but I don't really know. But honestly, the map was probably tied for first, but Valve kind of borked it up a bit. And the map that is in first place for me was King of the Hill Maple Ridge Event. And actually, I normally hate King of the Hill, but this one did it very nicely. There were a lot of open spaces, and there's many sight lines, so it's... Unlike some of the other maps that are all clustered and very confined, this one has a wide open space, so the spells are a little bit more balanced. The only thing I'd honestly say about all this open space is that the walks from spawn are kind of empty, so it's a little bit detailless. But all the wooden detail around the point looks amazing, and I know I'm kind of getting to like fine wood grains here. And my only complaint with the map would honestly be that if there's a sentry or a mini-sentry on the point, it pretty much just kills the entire game. But for me, it was by far the first, and I enjoyed it the most. So kind of just to conclude, most of these maps are really just balanced poorly with the spells, or they're destroyed by a sentry. But in all of them that are made by the community, the detail is amazing, and for some of them, the underworld that they made was just... it was just amazing. Like, I know I just keep saying amazing, but there's no other real way I can put it. Anyways, that's pretty much going to wrap up this whole kind of update review of Scream Fortress 2016. I haven't made a video like this in ages, and I just really kind of love somehow this format. I just love it. And although they didn't really add anything new besides community-made maps, I really hope the Pyro update is going to be something quite great, because if not, they canceled this event for for Valve's sake, I really hope they perfect the Pyro update. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in a future video. So take care guys.